What's going on, everyone? This is Matt, Squeaky Clean Air. All right, so today we're doing something really, really special. So stay tuned. We're going to be putting some really good, some super high quality titanium lug nuts. What's the brand? Titanium Works. So we're going to be putting them on Debbie's freshly bagged Toyota Supra. It's an A90 Supra, beautiful car on authentic Workmeister wheels. Definitely check it out if you're in the GTA area, local car shows. But she's got Titanium Works lug nuts, and these lug nuts are insanely crazy. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you a trick on how to put them on, and also this will pertain to a lot of the other aftermarket lug nuts and how to put them on, specifically because when you do spend a lot of money, especially for titanium stuff or for colored lug nuts, you want them to last. And if you just abuse them with impact, the coating will fade and you will not have that lasting effect. So stay tuned. All right, check out these guys out. These are the lug nuts right here. These things are insane, super high quality. The color, the finish, it's definitely out of this world. So the whole idea is when you put them on, you want that finish to last because you want to be able to showcase your high quality lug nuts because they're just so beautiful to look at, especially on these Workmeister wheels. So how do you go about, putting them on and removing them and trying to maximize or make them last for as long as possible? Well, you need to create some kind of a barrier. And the best way to do a barrier is actually Titanium Works suggested this, is if you take one of these little bags that you can purchase almost anywhere, a dollar store, anything like that, it creates a nice little liner that you can put over the lug nut before you slide the actual nut on top of them, or the tool on top of them. So what I do is basically take it and separate it in half, and that will make it thin enough for you to put it right over the lug nut, and then you're able to slide in your wrench and tool in order to be able to turn them around. So let me demonstrate what I mean by that. All right, so I separated it into essentially a half, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just gently pull it over the lug nut while I take the nut and kind of secure it on. So let me see if I could do it here. So essentially I put it over the lug nut. That creates a nice little barrier, and then I take this and I slide it over in order to kind of secure it, and then that creates a nice little barrier all around the actual lug nut where you're not going to actually scratch the lug nut. But under no circumstances when you're putting in high quality lug nuts like these, or even if you want to retain the color, you impact these lug nuts. You need to essentially, what you need to do is get a bunch of these little bags because you're going to go through many of them, and you need to tighten them by hand. And once you tighten these by hand, then later what you can do is you can use a torque wrench in order to torque them on the car, or figure out a way to torque them on the car in order to be able to kind of create as much of a seal on them, or the thread ability for the wheel not to slide through or out, for you to be able to tighten them up with a torque. But under no circumstances you tighten these up with a torque wrench. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this, and that's essentially it, guys. So once these are tightened up by hand, you can check if the wheel moves or not, as tight as you can with your hand. Then you basically will lower the car, and then you're going to torque them up. When you torque them up, or anytime you put a tool on them in order to tighten them up or remove them, always sort of use the bag as a liner, and that will create a nice little barrier thin enough for you not to be able to scratch them up, and then you can keep them actually looking beautiful for years to come. So hopefully this helps. Obviously, if you remove your wheel on a regular basis a lot, you will introduce some scratching. There's absolutely no way not to have any scratching, but at least this method will allow you to preserve them for as long as you can. So hopefully this helps you guys out. A couple of tips here, and you're able to go ahead and purchase these from Titanium Works or from any other of the other suppliers out there, and that will make your lug nuts last a lot longer. All right, peace out. All right, so this is the final product of the Titanium Works lug nuts. Looks so sick. They definitely match these beautiful Workmeisters. Definitely worth every penny. So it's the little details that matter that make the biggest difference. It's not putting tons of mods, it's just putting the right mods. Squeaky Clean Air out.